I made a bad error in judgment and put myself in an environment where only bad things can happen, and they did. And in doing that, I know that I'm gonna hurt.
I can't win over there because I don't play. I don't participate. Like, you can't buy me, not because I'm not for sale. You can't buy me because I'm not in the store. It's different.
Eddie Murphy has always been a man of mystery when it comes to Hollywood's chaos. Rarely does he step out of his quiet corner to comment on the swirling storms of drama among his peers, but when he does, we all stop and listen. And this time, oh, he's not holding back. Eddie's recent question has left Hollywood in a collective state of shock. Why is Kevin Hart hiding from Katt Williams? It's a simple question on the surface, but the weight of it is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. What could Eddie possibly mean? Why would Kevin, a man who seems to laugh off every controversy, who's seemingly untouchable in his comedic empire, be hiding? And from Katt Williams, no less, a man known for his fiery outbursts and unfiltered truths.
Is that I'm quite likely to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
What makes this even juicier is Eddie's reputation. He's not one to meddle in public feuds or fan the flames of Hollywood beefs. He's been an observer, someone who's seen it all and knows how deep the rabbit hole goes. So if Eddie Murphy is asking this question, it's not idle gossip, it's a deliberate move. And the way he phrased it with that cryptic tone suggests there's a whole iceberg of secrets beneath the surface. It almost feels like Eddie is daring Kevin to come clean, daring him to face the accusations that have been circling him for years. And what accusations are we talking about? Oh, buckle up. Kevin Hart has faced whispers, allegations, and outright claims from some of the biggest names in comedy, claims that he didn't earn his spot at the top but was placed there. Industry plant. That's the phrase Katt Williams has used, and it's one that Hollywood insiders say has stung Kevin deeply. To be called a puppet of the system, someone who sold their soul for fame, is about as damning as it gets in an industry built on the illusion of authenticity. Katt Williams, of course, is no stranger to controversy himself, but what makes him dangerous is exactly what makes him impossible to ignore. He has nothing to lose. Katt has been in this game for decades, and he's seen the ugliest corners of Hollywood. He's been blackballed, ridiculed, and even arrested, but he's still standing and still talking. And boy, does he have a lot to say about Kevin Hart.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything.
On Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, Katt didn't hold back. He called Kevin a Hollywood puppet, someone willing to do whatever it takes to stay in the good graces of the powerful elites who allegedly pull the strings in the entertainment world. But it wasn't just a petty jab. Katt claimed that roles Kevin Hart has built his career on were initially offered to him. Why didn't Katt take them? According to him, because he refused to compromise his morals, refused to play roles he felt were degrading or overtly suggestive. And when he declined, those same scripts went to Kevin untouched, as if Katt's objections didn't matter at all. It's a brutal accusation, but it doesn't stop there. Katt painted a picture of Kevin as someone who's never truly earned the adoration he receives. In 15 years in Hollywood, Katt said, no one has a memory of a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him, or ever getting a standing ovation. Ouch. Imagine someone questioning the very foundation of your success. That's exactly what Katt is doing here, and Kevin's response? Silence. Not even a whisper to address these claims. But maybe that silence is telling us everything we need to know. Could Katt be right? Is Kevin's meteoric rise to fame not as organic as we've been led to believe? It's no secret that Hollywood operates behind closed doors, with deals made in whispers and alliances sealed over cocktails. And if Kevin Hart's career was built on such deals, what were the terms?
And people get caught up in the illusion of Hollywood. People really get caught up in this.
This brings us to the next layer of this unfolding drama, Kevin Hart's alleged connection to Sean Diddy. Combs in the swirling rumors around the infamous Freakoff Parties. These aren't just your run-of-the-mill Hollywood get-togethers. Oh no, these parties are the stuff of legend, and not in a good way. Social media has been ablaze with resurfaced videos and images, including one particularly shocking clip of Kevin laughing at a Diddy-hosted gathering where chaos broke out. A woman's hair caught fire in a hot tub, surrounded by candles, and instead of helping, Kevin and others were seen laughing it off.
It's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out.
Now let's be clear, there's no evidence that Kevin engaged in anything illegal at these parties, but the optics, absolutely damning. The question everyone is asking isn't just why Kevin was at these gatherings, but what his presence there signifies. These aren't the types of parties you just stumble into. They're exclusive, secretive, and according to some insiders, come with a heavy price. So if Kevin was a regular guest, what exactly was he signing up for? And let's not forget, Diddy's name is currently caught up in a whirlwind of allegations that go far beyond the wild parties. With accusations ranging from exploitation to outright misconduct, Diddy's reputation has taken a massive hit, and anyone tied to him is feeling the fallout. So where does that leave Kevin? Is his silence a shield, protecting himself from guilt by association, or is it something more?
End of the day, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
The theories are endless. Some say Kevin's rise to fame was directly linked to his relationship with Diddy, a relationship that may have opened doors but also came with its own set of unspoken rules. Others speculate that Kevin's involvement in these circles is precisely why Eddie and Katt have chosen now to speak out. After all, Eddie Murphy has been around long enough to know how this game is played. And Katt Williams, he's been warning us about Hollywood's dark side for years. But here's the kicker. Kevin Hart's silence isn't just about the accusations from Katt or the rumors about Diddy's parties. It's about what else he might be hiding. The whispers about Kevin go deeper than we thought. His former assistant, Maisha, dropped bombshell after bombshell in her interview with Tasha K, claiming Kevin has a history of infidelity, gambling, and even financial mismanagement. According to her, Kevin's gambling habit got so bad at one point that he couldn't pay his employees their full salaries.
There's a time for Hollywood to hear this story, especially because a lot of people are locked in non-disclosures and they're not able to talk and protect themselves.
And then there's the most salacious claim of all. Maisha alleged that Kevin had a particularly close relationship with Diddy, one that went beyond professional boundaries. She even hinted that Kevin may have been a key player in organizing some of Diddy's infamous gatherings. If true, this would paint a very different picture of Kevin Hart, a man not just complicit in Hollywood's seedy underbelly, but actively participating in it. The resurfaced footage, the accusations from Katt, the cryptic comments from Eddie Murphy, it's all adding up to something big. And while Kevin remains tight-lipped, the world is left wondering, what is he so afraid of? What is he hiding? And most importantly, why are Eddie and Katt so determined to bring it all to light now?
I'm not an extortionist. I'm not a stripper.
27-year-old Montia Sabag is speaking out today and defending her name.
As social media continues to dig deeper and insiders whisper about even more revelations to come, one thing is certain. Kevin Hart's carefully curated image of a family man and comedic superstar is cracking. And with Eddie Murphy stepping into the fray, the stakes have never been higher. But this isn't just about Kevin anymore. It's about the industry as a whole, the power plays, the secrets, and the lies we've been fed for years. And if Eddie and Katt are right, then Kevin isn't just hiding from Katt Williams, he's hiding from the truth.
I'll tell you, I don't know how much, I don't like to say things that I know unless I see it. That there's a little difference, you know. But was it discussed? Was there descriptions from people I know that were at those? Yes, but here's another thing. So how many of these big entertainment parties and over the years and everything with successful as you are, have you been around? Does anyone ever come up to you at a certain hour and say, okay, it's time to go? At those parties they did.
And here's where things get even darker. Hollywood is no stranger to secret alliances and backroom deals. And Kevin Hart's story might just be the latest example of how the industry protects its own, until it doesn't. At the center of this web is a name we've heard before, Diddy. For years, Sean, Diddy Combs, has been the subject of swirling rumors, from his infamous Freakoff Parties to allegations of manipulation, coercion, and worse. What's shocking is how Kevin Hart's name keeps surfacing in connection to Diddy's shadowy world. Are we looking at more than just a friendship here? Could there have been a secret pact between the two, a mutual agreement to protect one another at all costs? We've seen this kind of behavior before in Hollywood. When one star rises, there's often an unseen hand pulling the strings, smoothing over controversies, and ensuring the right doors open. For Kevin, Diddy might have been that hand. Insiders have hinted that Kevin's meteoric ascent wasn't just about his talent or work ethic, but about his willingness to play the game, to align himself with the right power players, no matter how questionable their reputations. And now, as Diddy's empire crumbles under the weight of scandal, Kevin's silence is growing louder by the day.
I'm not sure. I don't buy for a minute that he's going to prison without getting out of here somewhere and stashing $2 billion or whatever. I think he has that kind of power, meaning Sean himself. But remember, it goes a lot deeper than that.
This alleged pact isn't just about keeping each other's secrets. It's about enabling a system that protects those at the top while exploiting everyone else. Take Usher, for example. We've all heard the stories about his time as a teenager living under Diddy's roof. Usher himself has spoken about the bizarre dynamic, hinting at experiences that no young artist should have endured. Then there's Justin Bieber, who was paraded around as Diddy's protege during the early days of his career. In resurfaced footage, Bieber appears wide-eyed, almost too trusting, as Diddy jokes about taking him on every 15-year-old's dream vacation. Looking back now, the tone of those moments feels more than just uncomfortable. It feels downright unsettling.
I don't know this, but it just seems very suspicious when you go through and you look at in the history of different people that can make you go away if you listen, I've worried about some of the things that I talk about on my show.
So where does Kevin fit into all this? Well, according to rumors, his connection to Diddy wasn't just professional, it was strategic. By staying close to one of the most influential figures in entertainment, Kevin could shield himself from the kind of scrutiny that's now threatening to engulf him. But at what cost? If Kevin knew about the allegations against Diddy, if he was aware of the rumors surrounding those infamous parties, then his silence isn't just self-preservation, it's complicity. Did Kevin turn a blind eye to what was happening in exchange for a fast track to superstardom? And if so, how many others were left to suffer while Kevin climbed higher and higher? What makes this even more fascinating is Eddie Murphy's role in the story. Eddie has been in the industry long enough to understand how these alliances work, how stars are made and unmade. If Eddie is speaking out now, it's not because he's looking for attention. He's Eddie Murphy, for crying out loud. He doesn't need attention. It's because he sees the cracks forming in Kevin's carefully constructed empire. Eddie's question, why is Kevin hiding from Katt Williams, isn't just about Kevin avoiding a confrontation, it's about Kevin avoiding the truth. Eddie knows how these stories end, and he's warning us. The fall from grace is never pretty.
There's a short life in
Why do you think that is with the creative side?
Well, because losing out money, you got to take you're going through so much to try and deal with life.
But maybe the cracks in Kevin Hart's seemingly perfect image aren't just metaphorical, they're physical too. Recently, Kevin made headlines for his bizarre confession about landing himself in a wheelchair after a reckless attempt to race a former NFL player. What started as a lighthearted anecdote about his swollen body and inability to use his legs quickly spiraled into something far more unsettling. Fans couldn't help but notice the strange tone of his video, half joking, half desperate, almost as if Kevin was laughing to keep from crying. His words, "I'm a mess," seemed to carry more weight than he intended, as if he wasn't just talking about his injuries, but about his life as a whole.
Card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
No, I'm saying what I'm saying.
In Hollywood, the body and the mind are often casualties of the relentless pressure to maintain an image, and Kevin's situation feels no different. Publicly, he's the untouchable comedy king, but privately, the cracks are showing. Could this wheelchair moment be a symbol of something deeper? Of a man who's literally buckling under the weight of his own secrets? The timing of his injury feels almost poetic, coming just as the rumors and accusations surrounding his rise to fame are beginning to snowball. It's as if his body is mirroring the emotional toll of years spent dodging alliances, maintaining alliances, and running from the truth. It's worth asking, how much longer can Kevin keep up the act? His injury, while physical, feels like a metaphor for a career that's losing momentum. The once unshakable star now seems vulnerable, fragile even, and fans are starting to notice. The man who built his career on high-energy performances and relentless hustle is now sitting still, forced to slow down, to reflect. And in that stillness, the questions come rushing in. Is Kevin's body breaking down because of age and overexertion? Or is it a consequence of the stress and guilt he's carried for so long? Let's not forget, Kevin's entire brand is built on his relatability, his honesty. He's the comedian who turns his personal struggles into punchlines. The guy who laughs at his own mistakes before anyone else can. So why, in the face of these mounting allegations, has he gone radio silent? Why isn't he using his platform to clear the air, to set the record straight? Could it be because the truth is far messier than the image he's worked so hard to cultivate?
That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid,
And it's not just Diddy and Katt Williams that Kevin has to worry about. Oprah and Tyler Perry, two of the most powerful figures in Hollywood, have also been linked to Kevin's rise. These aren't just colleagues, they're gatekeepers, people who have the power to make or break careers. Oprah, with her unparalleled influence, and Tyler, who has built an empire on giving opportunities to Black artists, have both publicly supported Kevin. But as the rumors grow louder, their silence is starting to raise eyebrows. Are they standing by Kevin because they believe in his innocence or because they have their own secrets to protect? What's even more chilling is the possibility that Kevin's alliances weren't just about protecting his career. They were about protecting an entire system. Hollywood thrives on secrecy, on whispered deals and unspoken rules. If Kevin's story unravels, if the truth about his connections to Diddy and others comes out, it won't just tarnish his reputation. It could expose the entire machinery that keeps stars like him in power. And that's a risk that Hollywood simply can't afford.
No, I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head.
But here's the thing, secrets don't stay buried forever. The industry is shifting, and the walls that once protected its biggest names are starting to crumble. Just look at what's happened to Diddy. Once untouchable, he's now facing accusations that could destroy not just his career, but his entire legacy. Kevin might think he's safe, that his silence will shield him, but we've seen this play out before. The truth has a way of coming out, and when it does, it's rarely on the terms of those trying to hide it. As fans, we have to ask ourselves, how much of Kevin's success is truly his own? Is he the hardworking, self-made comedian he claims to be, or is he a product of a system designed to reward loyalty over integrity? And if the latter is true, then what does that say about all the stars we admire? Are they all just playing a role, hiding behind carefully curated images, while the real stories remain in the shadows? The silence, the rumors, the cryptic comments from people like eddiemurphy, it's all building to something. And as Kevin retreats further into the background, the questions only grow louder. What is he hiding? How deep do these connections go? And most importantly, what happens when the truth finally comes out?
Well, but the truth is, in 20 years, I never been on a commercial audition in my life. Like, I never let my tour get sponsored when I was broke.
So what do you think? Is Kevin Hart the victim of a smear campaign, or has his rise to fame been built on secrets he can no longer keep hidden? Let us know in the comments below. We're dying to hear your thoughts. And remember, Hollywood's biggest secrets always seem to find their way to the surface. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep watching. We'll see you soon.